This video is brought to you by the EA Creator Network. I'm a member of the EA Creator Network, and thank you to EA for providing me a copy of this game. Let's get straight to the video. Hello and welcome to another video, and in this one we're looking at the Dead Space remake. As mentioned at the start, EA provided me a copy of this game and I am part of their creator network. Although they have provided me a copy of the game, I have not been paid for this and I am free to discuss the game as I please. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So Dead Space, if you've been under a rock or you're a little bit younger or whatever, it was originally made back in 2008, came out on the PS3, Xbox 360, and most people have either heard of the game, if not played it, and it's held in very high standards, to be fair, within the gaming community. So I'm not going to discuss the story because A, it's been out for 15 years and the remake hasn't changed that, and B, there are a lot of other videos out there discussing it and where the story is, etc. So if you want to know more about the actual story, go and have a look. I'm sure this isn't the first video you've come across anyway. In this video I'm going to just be discussing why this remake is done right, as the thumbnail says, how other studios can learn a thing or two from EA and what they've done here. In the last 5 years or so, we've had a lot of remakes, some with success and some not so much. When it's done badly, we're talking things like Vice City, GTA 3 for like a remaster, and for a remake, like when they tried to redo GoldenEye, it didn't work out very well. And especially with Vice City and GTA 3, they were a little bit buggy. I know they've sorted them out now, but when they released, they were pretty bad. But when it's done right, we're talking Mafia, excellent, replayed that remaster and it was excellent, and things like Resident Evil 2 as well. I'm going to give a shout out as well to the Final Fantasy VII reimagining, because although it is a remake and a remaster, they've tweaked the game from how it originally was and the playstyle and things like that. However, it's done fantastically. If you look at the graphics compared to Final Fantasy VII when it was first released and how it is now, it's chalk and cheese. But it is a slightly different game, same story and setting and everything, but the fighting style and stuff is different. So Dead Space has been done very well with a lot of care and attention to the playing game. I remember playing this back 15 years or so ago on the Xbox 360 and it scared the bejeebers out of me. I'm not that great with the horror genre, although for some reason I'm always attracted to it and I like to watch horror films and play these kinds of games. And if anything, it's all come flooding back with the enhanced visuals and sounds that this game has done, and that's in a good way. It looks fantastic. I love what they've done with this game, and it appears that no stone has gone unturned, and there are visuals and comparisons, and look at Digital Foundry where they kind of do a bit of a side by side, but they've taken pretty much every asset and they've redone it and repackaged it for it to look like a next generation game. I'm sure there's something out there where someone spotted something that's possibly may have been missed, but from my playthrough I haven't seen anything, and I'm not that kind of gamer that will actively go and look for faults with the game. Now, before the Dead Space remake was released, Callisto Protocol came out, and it was released about a month or so before Dead Space remake came out, and it's kind of the spiritual successor to Dead Space. Some of the guys from Dead Space originally went over to make Callisto Protocol, and for me it fell flat. It wasn't particularly scary, and that's coming from someone that's a little bit of a scaredy cat when it comes to horror games, and it just doesn't really, I don't know, hit the mark for me. And I felt that the controls and stuff were very, very janky. We discussed this in length on the Codec Moments podcast, where I'm a co-host, so if you want to listen to more of that, go and listen to our latest episode. We had a little bit of a hiatus last year, but go and listen there and you can hear a little bit more about what we're talking about here. That's why it was a breath of fresh air when it came to Dead Space, and they've actually put the time and effort in to actually completely remake this game. And it's sad that a game that's 15 years old has not overthrown, but has kept its place, whereas Callisto Protocol I feel like could have done something there and given people what they wanted. If you haven't played Dead Space before, or you're on the fence about this game, you know, you've played it 15 years ago and you want to keep the good memories, I'll be honest with you, you won't be disappointed. It's not one of those ones where you've got the nostalgia for it, you're going to play it and it's like playing the 360 game again. It will, you know, have the same feels, but the remaster is definitely worth playing again. And I know there are people that have done it with The Last of Us and kind of gone through each generation of it and had as much love from it. Well, I think you're going to get the same love from this Dead Space remake, and it's definitely put a bar there for how these remakes and remasters are done. You know, like I say, along with Final Fantasy and Mafia, and there are other great titles as well. Some people seem to rush them out as maybe a bit of a cash cow, or don't put as much effort into them. And let's be fair, Final Fantasy is one of those ones where the reason why we're not getting as many Final Fantasy remakes is because they lost all the assets. So they are literally having to rebuild the game from nothing. So, you know, they can be done right. And I think this is setting that bar of, you know, this is what it is and it's not just a straight port. So if you are thinking of getting it, pick it up. If you wait for a sale, fair enough. But, you know, if you're on the fence but you've got the cash to go and get it, go and get it. You won't be disappointed, like I say. So thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to hit all them buttons and different things, and I will see you on the next video. In a bizzle.